A very good morning to one and all. Let's start today's lecture with a slight revision of what we had done in the previous lecture because I guess there was a gap of 2 to 3 days in between. So let's kindly recap what we had done in the last lecture. We had seen what exactly are Moore machines, what is the difference between a Moore machine and a Mealy machine. We had also solved many problems on Moore machine. So in today's lecture, we are going to focus on what exactly are Mealy machines. And we will solve some problems on Mealy machines. And toward the end of the lecture, if time permits, I will also show you how we can solve a same problem uh, and construct both the machines together for the same problem. Okay, so the question will be same, and we need to construct two different machines, that is Mealy machine as well as Moore machine, for such a problem. Generally, such kind of questions are asked in the examination. A question will be given in front of you, a problem statement will be given, and you need to design both the machines, Moore machine as well as Mealy machine, for that problem. Generally, such questions come in the exam. Okay, so we are going to start today's lecture with the exact definition of Mealy machines, and then I will start with an example. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the main difference of Mealy machine? How is it different from a Moore machine? The main difference. Obviously, both provides output, but what is the difference between both of these machines? Any answers, please? I'm audible, right? Okay, so kindly, any one difference between Moore machines and Mealy machine? Any one major striking difference? Yeah. Uh, Moore has output for states and Mealy has for inputs. Not for inputs, it will be for the transitions. Yes, the output is associated with each transition in case of a Mealy machine. In case of a Moore machine, we write the output within each state. So we can say that in Moore machines, the output is associated with each state, whereas in case of Mealy machine, it is associated with each transition. Okay, so have a look at this diagram. This is just the introductory example to demonstrate what exactly is a Mealy machine and how is it different from a Moore machine. You might have noticed that we are having two tables, two separate tables. The first table, we all know what is that table. It's a transition table, or we can say the simulation table, implementation table. Okay, so in this case, this is the transition table. You all are aware of it, how it is constructed, right? So I have just picked up a snippet from a problem. It is not the actual example. I have just taken out a snippet of that actual example. This is how that particular table looks like, for example, and this is how the second table looks like. Now, what is the second table? This second table is also called as the output mapping table. If you remember the alphabet, if you remember this particular symbol, lambda, lambda is nothing but output mapping. Okay, remember? Similarly, there was one more symbol, delta. Delta was nothing but your output, right? So what we can say is lambda of QA, we used to write this in this fashion for Moore machines, if you remember, because the uh, output was associated with each state in the case of a Moore machine. But in case of Mealy machine, it slightly changes. We need to write it like this: QA on input 0. You're understanding the difference? Basically, in case of Moore machine, the output was associated with each state, but in case of a Mealy machine, the output is associated with each transition. So we need to also elaborate on for which particular input QA is producing what kind of an output. So this is how the Mealy machine differs from a Moore machine. Is it clear now? We also need to highlight the transition also, or the input also, for each particular state. Okay, so let's take this particular example. Over here, uh, over here, the lambda is nothing but the output mapping, whereas Q0 has an output A for input 0. Over here, Q0 has an output small a for the input 0. So that is what I have written over here. So I can write that lambda QA on input 0 is nothing but small a. This is what we call as the output mapping in the case of a Mealy machine. The same would have changed in case of a Moore machine. We had, for example, written an extra column in case of Moore machine, and that would have been the output of that state QA. if we had discussed this same problem for a Moore machine. So that is how we convert from a Moore machine to a Mealy machine, hypothetically. Towards the next lectures, I will show you special problems where we would be converting between Mealy machine and Moore machines. Again, those questions again come for 10 marks. The conversions, interconversions, Mealy to Moore and Moore to Mealy. Okay, we will discuss whenever we'll start those problems. So now this is how the Mealy machine table is constructed. There are two tables. One is called as the transition table and the other is called as the output mapping table. Okay. Next up, if you all remember, the most important step is the diagram. Have a look at the diagram and see how it differs. In the case of a Moore machine, we had written the output of a particular state inside that state only. But in this case, what we are doing is QA on input 0 produces what kind of an output? That is being written as a slash. Okay, so have a look at the table. QA on input 0 gives an output A. So that is what we have written over here. First, write the input followed by the output. This is how the nomenclature is followed. Clear? First, QA on input 0 goes to QA only in a self loop but produces output as small a. Clear? In the same fashion, let's consider for QB. QB on input 1 remains in QB only but produces an output B. Okay. Similarly, QB on input A goes to QC. You can check this table over here. Goes to QC and produces an output small a. Clear? This is how the table and the diagram is constructed in case of a Mealy machine. So, is the introduction clear? Can we move ahead with the actual problems? I have sorted out some 4 to 5 problems for you for today. So, let's see if we are able to complete those. Okay, thank you so much. So, before going into the problems, let me show you one thing. These are the books which you need to refer, especially for theory. Okay, because problems almost we are covering each and every type of problems in the lecture. I've also provided the link in your Google Classroom. If I guess it was in the previous old classroom, I will copy it and share it with you again in the new classroom. I have got these resources on my drive. You can download these ebooks from my drive. Basically, for the theory part, you can refer these books. They are very good reference books, especially the third one, John C. Martin. Okay, you can refer these books for the theory because in the exam you have to write theory also. In lectures, in our live lectures, whichever theory part I am encountering, I am trying to focus on that. But still, in addition to that, you need to write something extra also in the exam. So kindly refer these books and write the theory from these books. Okay. The problems are enough. Problems, whatever we are doing in the lecture, those are enough. But for the theory, you can focus on this particular books. Okay. So let's move ahead towards the actual set of problems. The first problem for the day is design a Mealy machine to output X if the input ends in 101, Y otherwise. Understand the question first. You have to design a Mealy machine to output X whenever the input ends in 101. Okay? And otherwise, you have to output Y. Is the question clear? You need to design a logic for this. Okay, whenever you encounter a 101, you have to output X, and otherwise everywhere else you have to output Y. Okay, clear? So again, you need two tables. Design the logic. You know how to create your first table, because if your first table is clear, your second table will be almost clear. Okay, because main thing is constructing the initial table, that is the transition table. If you're done with the transition table, then everything will be smooth. Okay, so let's get started. You can start with a QS state if you wish. Anyways, QS and Q0 is going to be combined, going to be merged in most of the cases. So start with QS, make this habit for Mealy machines and Moore machines, and then you can merge the states if possible. Yeah, there will be 5 states, including the initial state. Simple. You're going to start with QS, then Q0 will be for 0, Q1 will be for 1, Q2 will be for 10, and finally Q3 will be for 101. Okay, so start with the problem. Okay, kindly start the problem. Let me do some arrangements over here. Construct the table first. After you're done with the table, we can start with the diagram. Okay. Yeah, I will solve it. I will solve it. Obviously, I will solve it one by one, step by step. You just start with the table first. Step number one is obviously your theory. Okay, you need to write what is a milli machine. I will just write the steps over here. You can fill it up. Step number one is a theory. You have to explain what is a milli machine. What are the various tuples? If you remember, the tuples are something like this. There are six tuples in between. Okay. Next, step number two is your logic. Now, logic is nothing but again, you are going to write in terms of Q, inputs, and what else? The what else should be written over here? If you remember in FSM, we used to write IOS. Over here, what we should write? Inputs we have written, states we have written, sigma, sigma. Hey, I have already written that. Those are alphabets. What next? Because of the time gap of 2 to 3 days, I am again repeating these small things. Okay, what is delta? Delta is output, right? So same thing, IOS. That is, this is S, this is I, and this is O. So I'm writing it over here. Clear? Correct. So you have to fill those things over here. We are having five states, so simply write the states QS, Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. What are the inputs? Inputs are 0 and 1. Okay, so write them over here. And delta. What is delta? Delta is the output. We are having only two bits of outputs, either X or Y. Okay, clear? So step two is done. What about step three? Step three is the most important step. That is the table, transition table, or implementation in short, because we have to write both the tables in this step only. Third step is implementation. Now we know that the very first table is your transition table. So kindly construct that first. Transition table will look something like this. We are having two columns because we are having two inputs, 0 and 1, starting with QS, then Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. We won't be having the concept of any final states over here because we are talking about Moore machines and milli machines. They only have outputs. So we are starting with QS. Q0 will be a state corresponding to input 0. This will be for 1. And then follow the pattern. The pattern is 101. Okay. So we have to follow the pattern. The next state will be for 10, and the next state, final state will be for 101. Okay. Final state bola मैंने, it's last state basically. Okay. So next step is you have to start filling up the table. You all know how to fill up the table. I'm again repeating. QS is not having any inputs. If we encounter a 0, it becomes a state with 0 input, which is that state Q0. So simply write Q0 over here. With the same logic, we'll be writing Q1 over here. Is anyone present over here yet who is not understanding this particular concept? Because I guess few of you might have missed the initial lectures, but I guess they must have coped up with the video lectures I have already uploaded. If not, kindly let me know if you are comfortable with filling up the table because it's of utmost importance. If you're not understanding how to fill up the table, kindly let me know. No issues with that. I can again repeat if you want. Next up, kindly pause me whenever I'm going fast or whenever you want an explanation on any particular concept once again. Okay, I will repeat that. Now I am in state Q0. If I encounter one more zero, it becomes 00. But we are not having any state corresponding to 00. So I will simply write Q0 over here. Next up, if I encounter the next input, it becomes 01. But I don't have a state corresponding to 01. So I will stick to 1, following my backtracking ka logic. Okay. Next up, 1 0. I have a state corresponding to 1 0, which is Q2. Others who have completed this table kindly can draw the diagram and compare their answers whenever I'm done with this particular solution. Okay. Next up, 1 1. I am not having any state corresponding to 1 1, so I will stick to Q1. Next up is 1 0 0, but we don't have any state corresponding to 1 0 0. What we will do, we'll start backtracking. If I remove this one, I am left with 0 0. But yet again, I am not having any state corresponding to 0 0, so I will stick to the state corresponding to input 0. The criteria is same. You need to have the transitions equal and the outputs again should be equal. You have to compare both the tables. You have to compare corresponding rows from both the tables, and then only you can merge. Okay. Next up, Q2, sorry, 101. 101 is a state again, that is Q3. Here, with the same logic, I can write Q2 over here and Q1 over here. Why? Because it becomes 1010, 1010. So if I remove this state, it becomes 010. I'm not having any state corresponding to 010. So again, I will backtrack, but I am having a state with 10, that is Q2. The same logic, I will write Q1 over here. So clear with this table. This is how I got the initial table, that is the transition table. Okay. So if I wish to construct the next table, that is the, let me write transition over here and let me write the output mapping table over here. Okay. Again, we will be having two columns, one for input 0, one for input 1. This is Q versus sigma. Again, Q versus sigma. Don't miss these minute details. QS, Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Now let's see how to merge it up, how to fill it up basically. Let me read some questions. So we cannot take the state 0, 0 from Q0. Exactly what is the question? I'm not getting it. Kindly elaborate, please. Ritwik, kindly elaborate or else I can move ahead because I'm not getting what exactly you're asking. Okay, see, when we get the value for 0, 0 as Q0, you're asking me. Okay, so see, basically we are starting from QS, right? Clear. So initially the table is empty. Initially the machine is empty. So whatever input we receive, for example, we receive an encounter an input 0 over here, right? Which is the state corresponding to 0, that is Q0. So that's why we have written 0 over here. Similarly, I am in state Q0 and I'm already having one 0 as the input in state Q0. I'm receiving one more 0 over here, so it becomes 0 0. So we simply need to append it to the already existing input. So it becomes 0 0. Similarly, if I encounter an input 1, it becomes 0 1. So whatever input you are encountering, you have to append that to the already present inputs over here. That's why for Q3, we had written 101, followed by if I get the input as 0, it will be 1010 or 1011 with the same logic. Clear? So that is how 0 0 came over here. And if we encounter a 0 0, we are not having any state corresponding to 0 0. That's why we start backtracking. If I remove the leftmost symbol, I'm left with 0. Is a state corresponding to 0 present over here? Yes, that is Q0. That's why I had written Q0 over here. Same way you can follow the logic for the other states. Am I clear now? Okay, so let's move ahead. Uh, in QS, the output should be, let me know the output. What is the output over here? Kindly follow your logic. The logic says that whenever you encounter a 101, then only you need to output as X. Otherwise, everywhere you have to output Y. Is it clear? So kindly tell me which is that transition over here in your next table, second table, that should give me an output X. Kindly tell me the intersection. Q2 on 1. Okay, correct. Q3 is the state. I'm talking about the transition. Don't get confused between Mealy machine and Moore machine. Wherever Q3 is present on the second Whenever Q3 is present on this particular table, there we have to mention as X. You don't need to mention Q3 in this X in this particular row. Okay, you need to mention X wherever Q3 is present, because Q3 is a state which corresponds to 101. Okay, now let me get to sorry, Ritwik's doubt. 1 second, yeah, shut down. Okay, so let me get back to Ritwik's doubt. Just a minute. Actually, I by mistake closed it. Okay, so Ritwik is still having the doubt, like when we get the value for zero. Okay, I was talking about the backtracking, like if we get 00 as last, can we not take the value of 00 we got from the table? I was talking about the backtracking, like if we get 00 as last, can we not take the value 00 from the table? We are doing the same thing, na? We are getting it from the table only. The values are obtained from the table itself, right? Okay, so let's see how to fill this table. He's talking about a state which holds 00. But why to add states? That is what I'm saying now. You have to create a simple table, you have to create a simple machine which should be capable of solving the problem with minimum number of states. Why to add extra states? In the same fashion, I can keep on adding 1100. It can lead to 100 states in the machine, but that's of no use. Efficiency is lost, correct. So you need to create a machine with maximum efficiency, and that should be able to solve your problems with less number of states. Okay, so that's why I have omitted 00. Otherwise, I could have taken that. So now let's get back to the topic. Wherever Q3 is present, Q3 is present at this intersection Q2 on 1, right? So why we are doing this? Because we want to make sure that whichever input turns out to be a 101, we need to convert that into an X as an output. So over here, this particular input, that is Q2 on input 1, gives Q3 as the particular value. So wherever Q3 transition happens, there we need to mention as X in the second table. Otherwise, everywhere else, you can see nowhere else Q3 is present. Everywhere else, we should write a Y. I hope this is clear. Okay. The next problems will make the things even clear. Okay. So wherever Q1 wherever Q3 is present in your table, there at that particular intersection, we need to output X. Otherwise, everywhere else, it should be output as Y. Clear? So now let's come to the part where we can merge things up. Now, how to merge it? How to merge the states? Jyoti had asked this question. What is the criteria for merging up? The criteria is same. You first of all need to check the transitions. That is the most basic criteria. Over here, I can see that QS and Q0 are having same transitions. No issues with that. That is one of the criteria. Compare it with the second table. The second table should have the same outputs in both the cases. Over here, QS and Q0 are having same outputs in both the transitions for input 0 as well as for input 1. If both of these criteria match, then we can combine them. That is, QS and Q0 can be combined together into Q0. The same fashion, if any more uh, merging is possible, kindly let me know. Yeah, Q1 and Q3. Q1 and Q3 can be merged because kindly have a look. Q1 and Q3 have the transitions Q2, Q1, Q2, Q1. So both are same. Similarly, over here in the second table, both are having outputs Y in all the transitions. So again, we can merge Q1 and Q3 together and we can call them as Q1. So now I hope you got the constraints how we can merge the states, right? So two mergings are possible over here, QS and Q1, Q1 and Q3. So after merging the states, you need to redraw the table or reconstruct the table, both the tables, in fact, because you are merging it up. So I'm quickly drawing it over here. This is the first question, so I'm going intentionally slow. Okay, so we have merged QS and Q0 into Q0. So I have written Q0 over here. So let's complete the transitions also. Over here, Q0 and Q1 are present. So I will write Q0 and Q1. Next merging was done between Q1 and Q3. So I can write it as Q1 because I have converted that into a Q1. Wherever Q3 is present, I will write Q1 over there. Okay. The same thing. The transitions are same. It is Q2 and Q1. And lastly, we are left with Q2. Q2 is having a transition of Q0. And carefully check over here, it is having a transition Q3. But now Q3 is replaced with Q1. So I will replace Q1 over here. Replace Q1 over here. Clear? Next, similarly for the second diagram, second table, again, similar kind of things will happen. Okay. We are starting from Q0, then next state is Q1, and next state is Q2. Okay, this was combined together, QS and Q1. You can put the arrows over here also for remembering. So it will be Y, Y. Next is Q1, Q1 is having YY. And last we are left with Q2, Q2 is having Y and X. So basically we have minimized this into something like this. What was asked in the question? 101. So I can say that it is 1, it is 10, and it is 101 to be in short. So now I can say that wherever Q2 is present, that particular state is getting converted. So now we have done some kind of a conversion. This part is not required. I'm just using it for demonstration purpose. Okay. So you can simply convert this or merge the states and convert this into a minimized table. Okay. What is the issue? Sir, it's Q3, not Q1. Where Jyoti? We have merged Q1 and Q3 together, right? So that's why I've written Q1 over here and next came Q2. Wherever Q3 was present, I converted that into Q1. Which particular transition? Can you please let me know if I have made any mistake? Kindly let me know. Q2 on 1. Okay, let me check. That is what I am saying. Q2 on 1. Q2 on 1 is Q3, right? And Q3 is now replaced with Q1. That is what I'm saying. After merging, Q3 gets changed to Q1. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Harsh has already replied. See over here, I'm again explaining it. You're talking about this, right? If I'm not wrong, kindly let me know. This particular transition you're talking about, right? So this Q3 is already being replaced with Q1. If you see over here, I have combined Q1 and Q3 together and replaced that by Q1. So wherever Q3 is present in my table, that will be now replaced with Q1. That is what I have done over here. Clear? So that you have to carefully pay attention wherever you write it again in the exam. Wherever you merge the states, pay attention towards that. After merging, don't write the old states. You have to write everything in terms of these new states. So in this table, you can see there are only three states, Q0, Q1, and Q2. So by logically thinking, you can't even have Q3 over here. So that's why we have written Q1. Clear? So this is how you merge the tables. And last step remaining is the diagram. So let's quickly complete the diagram. We have to cover these three states now, Q0, Q1, and Q2, because we have done the merging. So now from Q0 on input 0, it is going to Q0 only. You have to write it like this, followed by the corresponding output, which is Y. In the same fashion, from Q0 on input 1, it is going to Q1. So write the input first, followed by the output, which is again Y. The same sequence, Q1 on input 0 goes to Q2. So input is 0 and the output is again Y over here. So you have to compare both the diagrams, both the tables. Okay. So now Q1 on input 1 remains in Q1. It is 1/Y. Let me finish it up. Q2 on input 0 goes to Q0 with output Y. Last, Q2 on input 1 goes to Q1 with output X. Clear? Okay. So this is how you construct a mealy machine, the very basic sort of a mealy machine where you have to convert the occurrence of one symbol into something else. Am I clear? Is this problem clear to you? I intentionally took some extra time for solving this step by step so that next problems become easy for you to solve. Okay. Clear? If you're having any doubts with this, kindly let me know. Okay, thank you so much. Let's start with the next problem. Okay. Next problem is design a melee machine. Oh, sorry, I forgot the simulation. Yeah, sorry. So let's complete the simulation. Thank you. Let's take an example. We are in Q0 and what is expected? 101. Okay. If it ends in 101, okay, so let's take one example 10101 and take one more example Q0 on 1100. Okay. So now let's start with this particular machine. Now, in case of Moore machine, if you remember, whenever we start the transition, we used to write the output. Okay, let me first solve this query by Jimit. How did you get that we should write 110101? Jimit, that basically what happens is we are having three states, right? We are having three states, and what was irrelevant, I have removed that by merging. In the previous lecture also, I had told you that whichever states are irrelevant, we keep on merging them. At the final juncture, at the final junction, we actually get rid of those states. That is what happened over here. We require 101 as the ending bit. Okay. So that is what we got over here after merging. Initially, we had started with an initial state QS, then a state Q0, which was had ending with zero. But finally, what we got over here is we simply got a pattern 101 that was required. Otherwise, all other states which were initially present are not relevant in this case because at the end we only require 101. That's why the merging takes place. Merging is basically minimizing your entire state, minimizing your state transition function or state transition table. Why we do so? We do so because of efficiency reasons. That is why. I hope so you got it because if you have two states, you can't have a string ending with 101. In this case, we are having three states because what is minimum required is minimum we require three states to obtain this sort of a function 101. Yes or no? For taking three bits as input, we require minimum three states. That is what we got over here. That's why, because of practice, I have written it over here. You will come to know whenever you practice some problems based on such topics, you will easily come to know that whatever is required that we have got after merging or after minimizing the states. Clear? So let's start this problem. It is Q0 on input 1. Okay. So I was telling that whenever we start with a Moore machine, we always used to write with the output over here. But in case of Mealy machine, we don't need to write the output of the state. We simply want the output of the transition of that particular state, right? So Q0 on input 1, Q0 on input 1 goes to Q1. Okay, so it will be something like this. Now tell me what is the output. Q0 on input 1 goes to Q1 and the output is Y, right? So now we will write a Y over here. That is why if you remember in case of Moore machines, the output sequence was always 1 greater than the input sequence. And in case of Mealy machine, it will be of equal length. That is why, because over here, we don't start with the very first uh, step itself. We are starting with the second step. That's why we are one short. That is actual length of the output will be same as the input sequence. Clear? That's why now Q1 on 0 goes to Q2 and the output is Y, right? I know that finally my output should be X. So keep on doing it. Q2 on 1 is going back to Q1, okay? And the out, okay, let's check. Q2 on 1. Q2 on 1 is going back to Q1. What is the output? X. Clear? So it is YYX. Next up, Q1 on 0. Q1 on 0 is going to Q2. What is the, oh, sorry, one input is red. What is the output now? Y. So it is YYXY. Last, we are left with Q2 on 1. Again, we go back to Q1. No inputs left over here. It is Y y, x, y, x. So what is the final bit? It is x. Clear with this? So basically, we have created a machine, created a Mealy machine, which is not only accepting the logic. Yeah, I'm coming to that only. It is not only accepting the logic of ending with 101, it can also be used as a substring 101. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because over here you can see that there is a substring formation also, 101. Wherever 101 was formed, it was replaced by an x, and the second 101 was formed over here, it was again replaced by an x. So you can also use the same logic for counting the number of 101s present. Is it clear? Correct, Praful. This logic also counts the repetition of 101. Correct. So here there are two patterns of 101 forming up. So the same logic can be used for those set of questions also. Clear with this? That's why Mealy machines are efficient as compared to Moore machines. Because first thing is we don't require uh, the outputs to be associated with each state. So there we are saving some sort of memory. And next up, we can create parallel logics for each particular question. We can use the same logic for a different set of question as well. Am I clear with this? You can try with this next set of problem, next set of simulation. Take 2 minutes. In the meantime, I will start with the next problem. Yeah, it will be y. Clear. So again, you can see that the length of this particular output is same as the length of the input. Clear? Okay. Yeah, I'm having some questions. Correct. It's not like Q0 will always have input 0 or A, etc. It will be what input we require after merging the states. So over here, you can see that we 90% cases, in 90% cases, we have the same inputs on QS and Q0. But in this case, we are having a different sort of input. Now, sorry, in this case also, we are having same inputs. That's why we have merged QS and Q0 together and it became Q0. And your doubt is, I guess, for the bits I have written on the left hand side, because whatever is required in the question, we have to change it accordingly. Tanvi is having a question, sir. In after merging table, if we take input one in Q0, okay, one in Q0, it should be Q2. Why? In after merging table, if we take input one in Q0, okay, you are going by the previous logic. So don't stick with the previous logic. We have already provided the logic in the very first table. So according to you, the logic is something like this. Don't stick with this because what you are doing is I got the point what you're trying to do. You're thinking that already Q0 is having one and the input is 1 1. So there is no state for it, right? So don't go by that logic. We have already provided the logic in the upper table, in the above table. We have minimized the table and we got something like this. That is why I'm saying that you initially don't go with this on the left hand side. That's I have written for representation purpose to make things clear for you. The logic we have already provided in the above table. We have minimized the table and got something like this. So again, don't start applying logic over here. Otherwise, it will be a total blunder. You will get totally confused. So don't apply logic once again over here. You have already applied it above. Clear? Otherwise, you will say that this should come as Q0 according to our logic. Okay. So don't do that. You will get confused otherwise. Okay. This is for everyone. A very nice question, in fact. Okay. Okay. Next up. So I guess you got this particular question. We can move ahead with the next set of problem. Okay, try to complete this. Try to start this initially. Then I will pitch in wherever required. Design a Mealy machine to change each occurrence of ABB to ABA. It's a very simple question, similar kind of a question. Wherever ABB is getting formed, you have to convert that into an ABA. So over here, inputs as well as outputs will be in terms of A's and B's only. So I'm writing it over here. The input is A and B, and the output is nothing but your lambda, sorry, your delta. delta is again in terms of A and B. Why? Because in the previous case we had outputs as X and Y, but in this case we are converting the inputs only to something else, right? Again, we will be having five states, correct? So simply follow your logic and complete this table. It's again a simple question. Start in the similar fashion. Wherever ABB is getting formed, you have to check that state, and in the next table, wherever that state is present, you have to convert that into a B. Sorry, into an A. Because only the last bit has to be changed, right? You have to convert ABB into ABA. Something like this. The first two bits have to be same. The last bit has to be changed. Yeah. So start off the question. I will pitch in wherever required. Yes, states will be five. I was just going through a problem question being asked by Jimit. Okay. States will be five only. But to start in the similar fashion, this Q versus sigma inputs are A and B. Start with QS, Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. According to our initial logic, it is nothing but we have to fill up A and B first, then follow the logic, which is AB and ABB. So wherever Q3 is present in my table, in the first table, we have to highlight that as an output A in the second table. Am I clear with this? Because we are doing the same concept over here. We are repeating it again and again, but simply following a particular logic. QS, Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, so let me write it first. Ayush, what is your question exactly? Okay, I'm writing the transitions. Kindly check your solutions with these, and then we will see if any states can be merged or not. I'm getting something like this. If I'm slightly mistaken, then kindly let me know, or else you can compare this with your solution and then let me know if I'm right or not. Okay, let me fill up the second one also. We have to write a write an A wherever this Q3 is present. Because question में क्या पूछा है, you have to convert an ABB into an ABA, right? So the last bit should be an A and not a B. That's why wherever ABB is getting formed, I have to convert that into an ABA. Where is ABB getting formed? It is getting formed at Q3 intersection B. So at this, sorry, Q2 intersection B. So at this point, this intersection, ABB is getting formed. Nowhere else it is getting formed. So I need to convert that into an A. Otherwise, everywhere else it will be a B. Sorry, you simply need to follow the logic. Now, what should be the output over here in these cases? Can anyone let me know what can be filled over here? This is important. What can you fill in this output table? Simply follow your logic. It's very simple. The only thing differs over here is your logic, nothing else. QS on intersection A, same logic. It was empty previously, so whatever input is arriving, you have to take it as it is. QS on input B will be B, right? Next up, A on input A. We don't have any states corresponding to AA, right? So Q2 was a state which was corresponding to A. So whatever is the input, I will simply write it. We are simply bothered with changing the occurrence of ABB into an ABA. Everywhere else, whatever is the input, you have to write it like that only. You're getting it? Whatever is the input, you have to write it same, same to same. Only point is wherever ABB is getting formed, you have to convert that into ABA. So whatever is the output of these columns, that will remain same for each transition. The only change will occur at this point where we should replace a B with an A. If I'm clear, kindly let me know, because otherwise the outputs in these columns are not going to change. The only change will happen at this junction where ABB is getting formed. जहां पे भी ABB बन रहा है उसको हमें कन्वर्ट करके ABA में चेंज करना है, राइट? Clear with this? So draw the diagram and take this simulation also. Simulation say it will be clear whether your logic is correct or not. Okay, there might be few chances. आगे जाके देखेंगे हम लोग. You may encounter some problems where you feel that the entire logic is correct, but then you get a reality check when you actually do the simulation. It is quite possible because we are still learning the initial problems, initial machines in this particular subject. Okay, I will explain once again. Don't worry. What I'm saying is that you might face some problems in the future where your simulation will slightly deviate from your actual logic. It is quite possible, no issues with that. You can simply go back and check whether the logic can be tweaked a little. Okay, in such a cases, you might have done a slight mistake in your logic, so it's quite possible. Okay, I'm explaining once again now. In this case, what is happening? The question is asking that wherever ABB is present, you need to convert that occurrence of ABB into ABA, right? So have a look over here. In such a question, what you need to do is you need to follow both the tables. What do you mean by follow? Over here, we were having AB. I'm just taking an example of Q2. Okay. We were having AB and we encountered an ABA. So ideally, what it should have been ABA, and that's why we have not changed the occurrence over here, the output. You're getting it what I'm trying to do. Similarly, over here, in this case, let's consider Q1. Q1 was already having B, and on arrival of an input A, it becomes BA. That is what is expected over here. The last bit should be an A. That's why I have written A over here. Is it clear now? The only thing is Q2 on input AB or on input B. On arrival of input B at Q2, it becomes ABB. I want to change the occurrence of ABB into ABA. That's why I have replaced the last bit or the output of ABB as ABA. That's why I've written AB and then output as A instead of B. Rest everything will simply follow this particular table only. Whatever is the last bit over here, that last bit should come over here as well. Over here it is AA, that's why we have written A over here. Over here it is AB, that's why I've written B over here. Clear with this? That's why I told you that whatever is the column value over here as in A and B, that only you have to write over here. This can be treated as a shortcut. The only thing differs over here is this particular intersection point. That we have changed to an A instead of a B. Is it clear now? I guess a few of you might be having issues with this. And now try to merge it up. If any merging is possible, if I have missed that merging step, you should merge it. In every problem of FSM and FA, any problem basically, you have to keep on trying for merging. Okay, now let's see QS, Q1 and Q3 can be merged, I guess. Yeah, QS, Q1 and Q3, correct. Let's take the transitions of each of them. First of all, check the output. QS AB, Q1 is AB, Q3 is also AB. Over here it is Q0 Q1, Q0 Q1, Q0 Q1. Correct. So we can merge these three states together, QS, Q1, and Q3. Okay. So let's merge it up. In the meantime, if you're having any doubts, you can ask me. QS, Q1, and Q3, I'm writing all these together as Q1. Okay, I'm writing it over here. I'm writing it as Q1. So this will be my initial state. Let me erase the extra bits over here, else it will create a lot of confusion. So QS, Q1, and Q3 have now been merged together into Q1. So now while writing the transitions, be very careful. Q0 is not merged, so you can write Q0 over here. Okay. What you can do is if you're finding issues with numbering, you can start with Q0 because it will be easy for you to remember. Start with Q0, okay? Fill up Q0 first. It is Q0, comma Q2. Is Q2 merged with any other state? No, Q2 is not merged with any other state. So I will simply write Q2 over here. Erase this start state because starting state is QS and QS is being merged with Q1 and Q3. So this has been combined into Q1. So wherever QS is present, that should be my start state. Hence, I will write Q1 over here and this will be my start state. If the things are clear, okay. So next up, check the transitions of Q1. Q1 is having a transition of Q0. As we know that Q0 is not merged with any state, simply write Q0 over here, followed by Q1 itself. Next up, we are having the state Q2 left. So write Q2. We are having Q0 over here. Q0 is not merged with any state. Next up, we are having Q3. Now we know that Q3 is merged with Q1 and QS. So I will write that as Q1. This is what we get at the end. Now, if you find it comfortable, then you can follow the logic which I had shown in the previous step. What we need to do is we need to do AB, and ABB, right? If you are not comfortable with this, don't do this. Okay, it is not compulsory. It is just for demonstration purpose. The same thing I had shown in the previous problem also, if you remember this particular part. So the same thing I have written over here. If you're not comfortable with this, don't write this. Otherwise, you may also get confused. This particular logic is not holding good for this question. Again, it will be something like this A, B. It should be Q1 over here, but I have written Q2. So if you're getting confused with this, don't follow this particular logic. Okay. I've just written for representation purpose. That's it. So again, follow the same thing. Complete the second table. Okay, now I guess you're in a position to complete it. Q0, Q1, Q2. It will be A, comma B. What would be the outputs? It would be A, B, B, A. Complete the simulation. Okay, in the meantime, let me drop in the attendance link. Complete the simulation. One second, Ayush, I'm getting back to your question. Yeah, simulation will start from Q1 because now Q1 is the start state. Yes, Rahul, that is the attendance link. Correct. So, very smart. Follow that attendance link and fill up your attendance. Let me check whether I have turned the responses on or not. Yeah, it's on. You can fill up the attendance. Okay. So now let me get back to the doubts. Simulation, yeah, that's done. In Q3 on A, okay. Let me check. In Q3 on A, we are getting ABBA. Hmm. So we should get the output as ABAA. Question क्या है? Read the question first. Okay, yeah. ABB. Each occurrence of ABB has to be getting converted to ABBA. Correct. Okay. and Q3 on B, ABBB. So we should get output as ABAB. Correct. You should get it ideally. Are you getting that? Kindly let me know whenever you're done with simulation. You have a valid question because ABB on input A. Okay, so basically we have got this pattern. This should be getting converted to ABAA ideally. Kindly do this simulation on this and let me know if you're getting this. Okay, because each occurrence of ABB is getting converted to ABA. Yeah, if it is happening, then your logic is 100% correct. Similarly, for the next question, which Ayush has asked again, AB, BB, it should get converted to ABAB, right? That should again happen. That should also happen. If it happens, then your entire simulation is correct. Entire logic is correct. So take these two examples only and solve it. And let me know. Okay, so I guess these two concepts were clear. Basically, I have done only two problems in today's lecture because it's a slightly new concept for you all. So I went slow today. So whenever required, you can ask me to increase the pace or slow it down as per you wish. So I hope you got the concept today. So you can wind up the lecture if you're not having any doubts. Kindly fill up the attendance and let me take the attendance here also. We still have 5 more minutes. So if you're having any doubts, you can ask me. And it's a request, kindly fill up your roll numbers properly because now we are following an automated sheet for attendance. So we are simply sticking with your roll numbers. If you enter a wrong roll number, it will be entirely your responsibility. In final, lambda, how did Q2 with, okay, let me check what you are asking. What is your doubt exactly, Vinay? In final, lambda, how did Q2 become A? This you are saying. If I'm not wrong, this you are asking, right? Or this you are asking. Okay. You are simply going to follow this particular table. That's what I told you, that don't apply logic on the second table. Whatever logic has to be applied has been applied on table or your initial tables. Don't apply logic on the merge table because this is the resultant of applying logic on the first table. You're getting what I'm saying? The merge tables are simply outputs, the resultants. Whatever logic you wanted to apply, you have applied over in these two tables. The same explanation which I had given earlier also. Don't go with the logic in the second table. Okay. Otherwise, you will get confused. That's why I have told you a number of times. If you are not comfortable writing the values over here, for example, ABB over here, don't write it. At the end of the day, when you will refer these notes, you will get totally confused. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's meet on Monday, our next lecture.